What's going on, all my fantasy football fans out there? It's Waiver Wire Queen. If you are looking for the must-add players week 4 via the waiver wire, you are obviously in the right place. They don't call me Waiver Wire Queen for nothing. Let's give some quarterbacks that you should consider. Sam Darnold, starting quarterback with the Panthers. He is playing some really good football to start the season. He has a nice matchup coming up week 4 versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys defense has improved. However, they haven't improved enough for me to say that Darnold is not going to have a solid game. He is currently rostered in 21% of Yahoo leagues, 9% of ESPN leagues, and 43% of sleeper leagues. So if you have someone like Carson Wentz, Big Ben, Matt Ryan, and you are relying on these guys to start and help your fantasy football team win, it ain't happening. So you may want to look at Sam Darnold. Another quarterback to consider is Teddy Bridgewater. I've been talking about him the last few weeks. Teddy is locked in. He is confident. He's playing well. He's accurate. He hasn't made any mistakes. And he is 3-0. Right? So one thing I will say about with Teddy, the first few games of the season for the Broncos have been, the Jets, Giants, teams that are not playing that well. They're getting ready to come up on a stretch of some tough games. They're going to have the Ravens, the Steelers, the Raiders, the Browns, Washington, some more solid defenses. However, Teddy has been playing really well, so consider him. He's only rostered in 29% of Yahoo leagues, over 27% of ESPN leagues, and a little over 40 in the sleeper league. So he is a nice add, and if nothing else, you can stash him on your bench. Especially in a Superflex league, he's definitely a better option than Big Ben, Matt Ryan, again, Carson Wentz, and some of these rookies out here like Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. If you are starting those young guys, Teddy Bridgewater would obviously be an upgrade over those young men. And Jameis and Winston, starting quarterback for the Saints, they got back on track this week. He was solid. They have a really good matchup this week coming up against my New York Giants. He's rostered in over 45% of Yahoo leagues, over 36% of ESPN leagues, and he's rostered in over 90% of sleeper leagues. So he is available in some leagues. And if you have the opportunity to pick him up, if nothing else, if you want to use him this week instead of going with Big Ben, Matt Ryan, and the guys I just named who have been stinking it up, consider Jameis, because this is a good matchup for him. So let's talk about some running backs that may be good ads. With the running back position, it's really hard. With the Jets running backs, they were splitting time between Michael Carter and Ty Johnson. Michael Carter had quite a few more rushing attempts than Ty Johnson. So as I've been saying all season, Michael Carter is ultimately the running back to have in that backfield. However, it's still not enough. But if you can pick up Michael Carter, pick him up. Ty Johnson is a good handcuff because I don't feel like Tevin Coleman is in the mix anymore. He didn't play last week, and he was out personal reasons this week. So it's Carter, and then Ty Johnson if you are desperate because you figure CMC is out. If you can't get Chuba Hubbard, his backup, then you got to look elsewhere. So Hubbard is a great pickup this week if you can. CMC is going to be out for a few weeks. We don't know how long that's going to be with the hamstring injury. Those are tricky. Hubbard is rostered in over 25% of Yahoo leagues, over 11%, 12% of ESPN leagues, and over 94% of sleeper leagues. So he is available in some of these leagues. If you can prioritize him, you prioritize him as the top priority when it comes to running backs, especially if you have CMC. But if you had CMC, you most likely handcuffed Hubbard. And I noticed quite a few managers were doing that this season, considering, CMC being hurt last year, didn't want to take any chances. So that was a smart move. But if you didn't, then you really need to jump on this and hope you can pick him up. Some other Running backs to consider also: Alexander, Madison. Cook missed this Sunday. He didn't play. Don't know if he's going to play this Sunday. However, if he's not, then obviously Madison's going to get the nod. He had a solid game. He's rostered in over 59% of Yahoo leagues, over 41% of ESPN leagues, and over 94% of sleeper leagues, which is extremely high. He's one of the backs that the backups you tend to see drafted regardless of what's going on and how deep a league is, because some people just like handcuffing certain backups. Like you'll see with CMC, they're gonna handcuff his backup because he gets injured. Cook, they're gonna do that. So if you can pick him up, prioritize him. I would say that Hubbard would get the nod over Madison, because we are 100% sure that CMC is not playing this week coming up, week 4. We don't know what's going to happen with Cook, but if you got to prioritize both of those guys and you can get both of them, do so. And that should help your team going forward due to these injuries, because the injury bug is picking up with some teams. All right, let's talk about some wide receivers you should consider adding. Terrence Marshall Jr. with the Panthers. He's a great add. Only rostered in 14% of Yahoo leagues, a little over 14% of ESPN leagues, and over 96% of sleeper leagues. You'll see the sleeper leagues will have a higher percentage because those tend to be the dynasty leagues, deeper leagues, and when you have those dynasty leagues, you're filling up pretty much the whole roster. There's really not a lot of options on free agency when you are in a dynasty league. So with him, he's starting to see more targets, getting him the ball. They're confident in him. So he's definitely a great option for the Panthers. If nothing else, just put him on your bench. He may be able to help you during a week where you have some wide receivers on the bye week, or if you have some injuries, okay? So he definitely should be in the mix. Definitely in dynasty leagues, if you can get him, grab him up, scoop him up, okay? Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver with the Bills. Obviously, the Bills went off this week against Washington football team. Shout out to Bills Mafia. Josh Allen went off. I had someone say Josh Allen wasn't a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and I told them, I'm going to have a seat somewhere. Josh Allen is on track, and he's back. He had a great game against Washington football team, supposed to be a good defense, But nonetheless, Emmanuel Sanders, 2 touchdowns. He had a really good game. He's seeing at least 4 to 5 targets per game, which is really good considering you got Diggs out there, Cole Beasley. Emmanuel Sanders, he's up there in age, but he still got it, all right? He still got it, and he's available and he's rostered in 25% of Yahoo leagues, so that's high, 75% available. Rostered in over 23% of ESPN leagues, and over 80% in sleeper league. So pretty much he's out there, and if nothing else, he's a great fill-in for bye weeks or injuries. And there's nothing wrong with having your bench stacked, because there's going to come a time where you may have to prioritize a player due to injuries. You got someone out who's hurt, you're going to need someone to fill in. And Emmanuel Sanders is not a bad option. And also on a bye week, you want to have a solid bench, because you don't want to lose on your bye week if you don't have to. Don't neglect the bye weeks, okay? Because that could be the difference between you making the playoffs and not. So don't neglect that, all right? Other players to consider. Let's talk about Hunter Renfrow, wide receiver with the Vegas Raiders. That's right, Las Vegas Raiders. He is one of Derek Carr's more reliable targets, weapons. Derek Carr trusts him, and he will go to him on third down. If he's not going to Darren Waller, then it's definitely going to be Hunter. And he's a nice add. He's definitely got some flex appeal at times. He's been really solid to start the season. He's rostered in only 12% of Yahoo leagues, and 11 12% of ESPN leagues, and a little over 78% of sleeper leagues. So he is definitely available, and he is someone that you can trust is going to get the job done. If you need a quick 10 points, he's gonna get it for you. So he's definitely have flex appeal, flex worthy, and he can be another solid player you add to your bench in the event that you have injuries or you're on a bye week. And these are all for deep leagues, recommendations for deep leagues, because let's face it, it's hard out there on the waiver wire. I mean, you may be looking and it's like, damn, it's not a lot going on out there, but injuries are part of the game, and sometimes you may have to rely on Hunter Renfrow, and he can get you the points. Okay, another player to consider with the Raiders, Bryan Edwards will be a nice add, and this can be a really good add in dynasty leagues as well, because he's a part of that core, part of that future. He looks really good. He's starting to build a rapport with Derek Carr, so you can look at him as an option. Rostered in 18% of Yahoo leagues, a little over 10% in ESPN leagues, and 91% of sleeper leagues. So he's definitely out there. And again, I said, if you are in need of just depth on your bench, if nothing else, you don't want to have you don't want to be top heavy in your starting lineup, but then your bench is trash, and when it comes to injuries and bye weeks, you lose that way. So building your team is not only about having your solid starters. You definitely, in football, fantasy football, have to plan for injuries, COVID, and bye weeks. 3 most important things: injuries, COVID, and bye weeks. And building out your roster, your bench, will get you through it. And working the waiver wire will help you build your bench and continue to keep you going. All right, let's talk about Anthony Miller. He is back. He had a nice little game on Thursday. He is available. Pretty much he's available. He played over 64% of the snaps. He is out there, so he's just available, y'all. He's out there on Yahoo, ESPN Sleeper. Just go on and pick him up if you can. He's another nice young player to add to your bench in dynasty leagues, or just at the end of your bench in deep leagues if you are looking for a player to add in the event that someone is out due to injury, COVID protocol, or a bye week. Gotta do what you gotta do, y'all. Gotta work the wire. That's what we do out here in these fantasy football streets. We work that wire. That's why we are winners, okay? Keep it going. Another player to consider, and I don't want to hack his name up, wide receiver from the Falcons, Olamide Zacchaeus. Okay? Russell Gage is out with an ankle injury. He's going to be out a few weeks. This young man had a nice little game. Matt Ryan was looking for him a bit. He got a touchdown too. He is rostered. He is available, okay? He is rostered in a little over 44% of sleeper leagues, and then he is widely available in Yahoo and ESPN leagues. So if he is out there and you're just looking for someone to add to your bench because you may need to help your team out due to injuries, and he's somebody you may want to look at. You never know, because right now it's Ridley and Pitts. It's the third person hasn't stepped up. Maybe he'll step up. We don't know what Russell Gage is going to do once he returns, because he wasn't doing much when he, the little time he did play. So maybe this young man may step up. Okay, so yeah. And let's talk about A.J. Brown being out. So A.J. Brown, he left the game with a hamstring injury, and he is week to week. I don't see him playing this week with the hamstring injury. Hamstring injuries are tricky. Got to be careful with those. So you may want to consider Chester Rogers or Nick Westbrook, Icon. Those two young men, they had solid games for the Titans. Remember, deep leagues only. And also realize that Julio is obviously going to be the wide receiver to have if Brown has to miss any time, and they're still a run first team. So those two guys are available, and we'll know more later on this week about these two guys. And then this is just a wild card for everyone. You know, the tight end position is tough out there. So there was a trade today. Dan Arnold was traded from the Panthers to Jacksonville. So now Trevor Lawrence, he gets a tight end who can help him out. They should have drafted one, they didn't, but oh well, it's besides the point. So we may see some more action for Dan Arnold, and Tommy Tremble of the Carolina Panthers is most likely going to see more playing time on the field. So these are for deep leagues. Definitely Tremble for a dynasty leagues. He may see an increase in his obviously playing time on the field. They gave him a run play and he scored a touchdown. They're looking to get him more involved. They're excited about him, so he is someone to just be mindful of and kind of watch out for him. All right, y'all hit that like button and subscribe to Waiver Wire Queen for more on fantasy football. Again, these are recommendations. We're just trying to get you right and help you win and be prepared every week. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.